Hey everyone, welcome to episode 45 of Wearables Weekly. I'm your host, Keith Acorn, and I'm going to introduce my co-hosts, starting from my left, Aaron Caston.
Hello.
Cecilia Abadi.
Hi, everybody.
And Libby Cheng.
Hey.
You guys have a good couple weeks off?
Yeah, it has been nice.
It's been a very productive couple weeks.
Definitely. Yeah, so one of the things I know that happened was Comic-Con was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
I think so. Libby and I were down in San Diego, and Cecilia was kind enough to join us for a little Explorer get-together.
That was a lot of fun.
And I have restocked my toys.
We can tell now you're like looking more fulfilled.
I know. I'm very happy.
So give us a little tour. What have you got that's new?
Oh, okay. So there's Hello Kitty Chun-Li. She's actually a piggy bank. I haven't decided if I'm going to use her as a piggy bank.
Is that a kitty bank?
It is a kitty bank, yes. There is Stan Lee, Funko Pop.
That's who I wanted to see.
Nice.
Awesome.
He is adorable. I don't actually have all my toys out. I also got a couple other things that I need to figure out a home for. But, yeah, so far. Oh, and of course, Andrew Bell, the Heroes and Villains.
And of course, Andrew Bell was very gracious and signed a bunch of stuff for us while we were there, so it's always great to hang out with him.
Yeah. He's a really nice guy, really down to earth.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we mentioned that there was a little Explorer get-together, so that was myself and Libby and Cecilia, and we also had Kim and, let's see, who else?
Yeah, Ivan Yudi,
Ivan.
and we had Kim and her daughter. And even just what I wanted to say is even if you don't get the tickets to Comic-Con but you're in the area, it's totally, I mean, I never did it to just go. I always thought it's going to be so crowded. It was crowded, but still you could get the vibe of what was happening without the long lines and just be a part of it.
Definitely. There was a lot of stuff going on outside.
The cosplay was amazing. They put a lot of effort into the costumes and becoming the characters, and it's kind of fun seeing them walking around because they assume the personalities of the characters too. So that's always interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to bump into 3 Supermen talking to each other. Cool. All right. Well, I guess let's get to the news since there's a lot to cover. So this is in no particular order, but starting with the top. So there's, I don't know if this is Motorola specific, but there was an NFC-based digital tattoo that I guess you can use to unlock your Moto X or anything else that requires an NFC sticker. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So they're about $1 per tattoo, and they last 5 days, and they supposedly last through showers and sweating and stuff. So I don't know. Does anybody here have a Moto X?
No.
I got rid of it.
Oh no, you don't like it?
I didn't like it much.
Let's see. I'll try to share the
It's too small.
thing of it. So this would be like, let's see, there you go. It's sort of like an antenna. I guess it would stand out a little bit, but I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not quite sure how useful that would be, but.
Yeah, so my coworker has a Moto X, and I guess it came with like a little belt thing, or this little clip that you could put on your belt that's supposed to unlock your phone just by touching it, and it's a bit much for what it does.
True. I remember they had some sort of magnetic pins or something you could put on your sleeve or something. I guess the idea is neat if you have if you want like a super secure phone. I don't typically set a passcode on mine, but
yeah, I don't either.
Is a temporary tattoo really make your phone super secure though?
Pray not.
I don't know.
It's just, I think what's interesting though is that before you had to get an implant for that, and people were getting like little capsules like these that usually you get implanted right there, and they just had an NFC thing, and now you can get it with a tattoo. So in that regard, it's an advance, and I imagine also that in that tattoo you can program, or at least that would be interesting as a next step. If you could program any URL, then it could be something that you share with others. But of course, the whole iOS doesn't partake of the NFC, so it's not so much fun.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess I could see a use case if you were maybe in a crowd, in a concert or something, and you wanted to pull out your phone and I don't know, maybe not hassle with it too much. It just seems It almost seems like a little bit more
This
of
is
a
how I
hassle
unlock
than to
my
just
phone.
shake it.
Yeah.
Well, it's just,
That's it. I just tap the screen.
well, to your
You
point.
say that again? I know it is crazy.
Nice.
Oh wait, it didn't do it that time. Damn it! There we go. Just tap the screen. It's.
It'd be nice if I could have a phone like
I can do it one-handed. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You're not saving a whole lot.
Probably not so useful for the phone use, but like you said, Cecilia, there's a couple other maybe uses for it. Maybe if it lasted longer, you could have someone with maybe medical history stuff. I don't know. If someone has like a condition and they need to be, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if it automatically, I mean, if you shake it twice, I think the Moto X opens up a camera. I was going to say if it automatically opened up the camera app, that might be something, but I think it already does that.
Maybe you can put it here and do little fist bump introductions.
Okay.
I love that. Yeah, I would love to just interchange contact information. I think that would be kind of more worth it than unlocking my phone, for instance.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, on to the next story. So this week, Timex announced that they're going to be coming out with a smartwatch. This is a little different than some of the stuff we've been covering, although it looks a little familiar to me. So let me get a picture up.
Like poop.
Let's see. So this is definitely like, I mean, Timex is known for their Ironman watches, the things that people do these really heavy endurance or scuba stuff or triathlons or whatever. So this is definitely along those lines. There's no notifications or anything, but it has GPS. It has a 3G cell connection, and of course all the normal like fitness tracker, heart rate, stuff like that. One thing that struck me about this one though. Was that it has that Mirasol display, which I don't know if you guys remember from the Qualcomm Talk, but this was that like really low power using color display that they were showing off at the time. And this watch kind of reminds me of that one. Does that look like that to anybody else?
It's huge. It's
That
very
it is.
big.
It's huge. I mean, look at that poor girl. She can barely hold her arm up. She has to use her hair to hold her hand up. She's like, oh, it's so heavy.
I'm more annoyed with. I had a good discussion in my post on G Plus where I was more initially annoyed by someone reinventing a platform. I think with cell phones it didn't work. Anybody that came late to the party and tried to reinvent a platform other than Android and iOS, it just didn't work. And just having all these new phones not catching up on the existing waves of like Android Wear and other things like that is kind of. I think it's disappointing. I think they're not gonna, because the evolution is so much faster when you have a platform and an ecosystem and a lot of developers. You can't compete with that, and I think that's a hard decision.
Yeah, I think the one thing this watch does have going for it is it can be used as a standalone phone, which is I think the only other watch I've seen do that was the what was the watch that came out last year?
The Omate.
The Omate, yeah. And the Omate was also massive.
Now, I didn't see them advertising this as a phone. It's got a 3G connection, so you can get some data and maybe back up your.
It also has the water thing going. So for water sports, definitely there's something there.
Yeah, 50-meter depth is pretty significant. I mean, that's pretty much the extent of a beginner scuba diver.
Right. So yeah, I take that back. It's not necessarily designed as a standalone phone, but it does have, let's see, with a 3G radio inside a number of built-in communication tools. So it can be used as an independent device. It doesn't have to be Bluetooth connected or anything to a phone. So in that sense, it's got that going for it. But unfortunately, because it has so much that it does, it's huge.
Yeah. I guess that reminds me a little bit of the Garmin watches. If you guys have seen those Garmin Forerunners, where it's also like very fitness oriented, but not really tied into other things. Like Cecilia mentioned, it's not running Android Wear or any of the more standard platforms yet. So, do you think this is like a category that is sustainable, like that for people that are just into like fitness tracking, like serious activities, that they would be okay not tying it in with the rest of the ecosystem and just having it as a standalone device, or do these have to merge at some point into like a smartphone and fitness tracker?
There's a small chance that because the functionality they need is usually very specific, like the time and a few more things. If you think that way, that might lead you to think that they don't need to jump into one of the big ecosystems. But on the other hand, people are going to make up awesome uses of a device like this. So that's where I'm divided. I think it's a bad decision.
Yeah, I think the market will exist for a while, for quite some time longer, but I think it will be irrelevant rather quickly.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think they're missing the mark on the design. I think if they went wider instead of thicker, I think you'd have a lot more adoption from there. Because, I mean, it looks like a heavy device, and when you're very active, I mean, that can't be comfortable after doing a 26-mile run.
I think that style device isn't going to go anywhere, but because some athletes prefer that, but it will be that style device supporting a broader OS.
Of course, we don't have any hands-on experience, but to me it looks like it is bulky, but I think that's a lot of it for durability. Like it looks like that sort of rubberized plastic.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
But
anybody
again,
using this might be.
I mean, that's where an Android Wear watch could come out with that style that's geared specifically towards fitness people. It's
Yeah, but
maybe it's
again,
water resistant to 30 meters or something.
I don't see how it can't go, wider instead of.
Oh, I agree.
It's pretty wide, actually. This is like the Talk. Talk had like a widescreen sort of format, which this one seems to have as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, there's always the cuffs. Eventually, we'll all have cuffs. That will be awesome.
Eventually, we'll just wear contacts.
Yeah, I don't have a story about that, but I think there was something about that last week. Cool. All right. Well, I guess sticking with the theme of active user smart devices, the Recon Jet has finally announced when they're going to be shipping their device. Did anybody else pre-order one of these last year?
I dropped it
I was
a
gonna say,
long time ago.
That's probably for the best. But yeah, so last year, Recon, if anybody remembers, they had this pre-order, and they're like, we're going to have it by December 2013, $500 pre-order, and so December passed and January passed, and they had a new date in the spring, but now it's actually close enough. I'm pretty sure they're going to be shipping it. They gave an email update of September 25th, which is not too far off in the future.
no.
And they said it was delayed because of some issues with the ergonomics and the camera orientation and some other things that they wanted to fix. But they swear now it's really good to go.
After over a year of when they initially had the sign up for this device.
Yeah, I remember when I first signed up, I figured, well, it's okay. They're not going to charge the credit card until they ship the device, right? No, they did right away. So it might be worth just taking it instead of trying to get that refund at this point. But anyway, it's still kind of neat. It's this is like a Oakley-style glass with a screen that comes out on the bottom. So unlike glass, which has a screen on top, it's I guess more like what Recon uses for their ski goggles and some other things.
Thing on the other side too, I think, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's got a big block on the other side. Like I don't know if it's like a counterbalance or something.
Oh, that could be, or maybe that's the camera. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
And Recon's definitely like an established brand. They do a lot of these sort of very active device wear. So
yeah, they've had the heads-up ski goggles for a while.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this runs Android, and they had an SDK sometime last year, so maybe there'll be some special stuff built. Cool. All right, and so there was a little update that Xiaomi is like a Chinese Android sort of phone manufacturer, but I guess they're also getting into this fitness band thing. Normally, I wouldn't cover like just another fitness band because it's the same sort of device with like step counting, calorie distance, and stuff like that. But what really set this one apart was the price. Price being $13 for a device that tracks movement, sleeping, has a smart alarm, supposedly waterproof, and 30-day battery life, which sounds like it could stand up to just about any of the $100 fitness trackers that I've seen.
Yeah, for $13.
It'd be cool if it was like, look, we built the hardware, now we've made it completely open and will work with any of these other systems. It will just be recognized as any other tracker. But nobody will do that. So.
I mean, for $13, it's almost worth it to buy it and just strip the parts out.
True.
Well, if you can't do anything with them, I mean, it doesn't matter.
And to be honest, this has a couple of features that a lot of them don't like. Like even the $50 to $80 bands, they don't typically have 30-day battery life.
Yeah.
Or the smart alarm. Okay.
Yeah, the 30-day battery life is crazy. I guess it doesn't really have a screen, so the only thing you really need to charge is the sensors. As long as you have that.
Yeah, it didn't mention whether it uses Bluetooth, but I'm assuming it links to your phone with Bluetooth. So.
Yeah, how is that not killing the battery too? I know Bluetooth takes up a lot of battery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no more details on this page, but I imagine it probably won't be available here in the States anyway, so probably not worth worrying too much about.
I want it to be. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, it's like a great thing that it would make it really accessible. It's true competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that.
Xiaomi's gonna try, or Xiaomi. I don't know how you say their name. I don't know if they're gonna try and come to the U.S. or not. They do all sorts of stuff. They make TVs and.
Well, their CEO is definitely well known over here, so Hugo Barra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right.
They need to follow suit with a watch. That's what I'm gonna say. I mean, it's okay with the band, but bring the watch at $49.
Hey, that mock-up of the OnePlus watch looked pretty good.
Yeah. If you can find a story on that, pull it.
I don't think those are real.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those were real. I know the one that I shared wasn't real. I hope the one I shared wasn't real. Actually, no, I hope it was real.
That's no reason not to talk about it. I mean, half the stuff we talk about probably isn't real, but like here in that spirit, I'll skip one story and talk about the smart shoe, which apparently is coming to your local Indian footwear store. Let me get this picture up real quick. This is just pretty amusing.
I think this particular smart shoe is missing the opportunity. Plus, it's really ugly. It's like a Ferrari on your feet.
Yeah, it does look pretty aerodynamic, I guess.
I love how that one looks completely flat, and then you see the ones below it, and it's all like curved and has arch support.
Well, I guess it gives anybody a couple extra inches there. But yeah, so I guess that's probably where they're keeping all the electronics. But so the gist of this device, I didn't get any idea whether it does like pedometer or anything like that. But it was mainly targeted at navigation. So if you can imagine setting your Google Maps to navigate you somewhere, and instead of looking at your phone or glass or watch, you're like whenever you need to make a turn, the shoe on that side would vibrate. So give you sort of a passive clue.
That's interesting. So I wonder. So I guess you'd have to avoid puddles.
Good point. Yes.
It's designed for blind people. I think they originally had blind people in mind, which is kind of interesting. And then from there, they went to, oh, yeah, this could work for anybody.
And the price isn't terrible.
No, it's totally doable.
It's not bad.
That's interesting with you said with the blind folks. So yeah, I think that would be an interesting market. Also, I know that for myself, I tend to turn off the speaker on my phone when I'm doing navigation. I just don't like having it interrupt like other music or whatever
And
I'm
I pretty
listening
much
to.
keep mine off, the volume off on mine all the time now that I wear a watch. Like
Yeah, that was.
vibrates, and so I'm like, oh,
Yeah, exactly
Something
my
happened.
experience as well.
I
So
just
the watch
wonder
gets
about-
just a little nudge.
Having it in my feet, I don't know that my brain would process that naturally enough. It could be. It would be great to try.
shoes.
When I read that, I knew someone would say that. Obviously, you had to say. They say, yeah, everybody wears shoes, and like someone will say, no, I don't wear shoes all the time.
Yeah, and I guess unless they can put these in some kind of insoles, probably not everybody wears the exact same pair of shoes every day.
I think
the idea, though, is it looks like it's more of an insole.
Yeah, the bottom part does.
that's a great part of it that you could insert it in any shoe. That would be a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you don't think that the whole shoe is what they're selling? It's actually just the.
I
it's
think
just
it is a
inside?
whole shoe that they're selling, but I think it looks like
They would allow others to do
right.
the external part, right?
Right, that's what I'm thinking too. Is eventually it's just going to be the insole, which would be great. And I guess do you pull out the insole to charge it? That's kind of what I'm seeing. Is that you might have to pull out the insole
Yeah,
to
I
charge
think
it.
you're right.
Hmm.
But that opens the possibility for others to design shoes for these inlays. So yeah,
Right,
that sounds
which
good.
is really smart, and I love how it gives you an inch. It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I wonder if I would be more comfortable having two bands. If I was blind person, I don't know, having my hands tell me where to go than my feet. My feet sounds like it's so far away from my brain, but maybe you get used to it.
It seems like you'd almost need a sensor on your wrist or something that vibrates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the story does mention its roots being for like assistance for blind people, and I'm just wondering what other kind of stuff they could put in there. I know a lot of people walk maybe with a cane or a guide dog, but if it could have some sort of way of knowing that you're about to step off a little ledge or that you're standing in front of a wall or something, that might be interesting.
Maybe put an alarm in there if you have kids. They run away. It yells.
True.
Yeah, you can put all sorts of cool sensors in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities with this.
I called it like a year ago. Some shit.
Well, stepping back one. So apparently there's a device. I have not seen this, but apparently a blog had tracked it down called the Nike Fuel Box. Does anybody here wear a fuel band?
No.
No. Okay.
I know they still sell them, but I thought Nike kind of gave up on that.
Discontinued.
Yeah, I think that they're getting out of the hardware business, but regardless, this is kind of a neat idea. It gives you a little bit of extra incentive to rack up those points, which I guess you get points by being extra active with your fuel band. The idea here being that if you find this fuel box, which might be at a Nike store somewhere, you can trade or you can, I guess, turn in points for merchandise, so like shirts or hats or drinks or something like that. It's kind of cute.
I wanted to come here. I'll totally wear a Nike Fuel Band for that.
It's pretty cool, although apparently it
I'm
moves
sure it's
around.
like Nike branded like hats and apparel.
That stuff's expensive.
Yeah, but I don't want it.
Maybe this will be like the arcades where you have to trade in like a year's worth of points for, I don't know, a shirt.
For a hat or a shirt, yeah.
But so apparently somebody was trying to track this machine down, and it comes and goes like day by day. So here's a little.
It is a neat idea. I mean,
It is a clever idea.
It will like getting some goodies. It will kind of incentivize.
You know who should
most
do
people
that
to-
is Gatorade. And they say, okay, look, come to a Gatorade vending machine and you can trade any kind of fitness band points. Or like
That
their
would be smart.
I second
G-Bucks. They
that.
can call them G-Bucks, and like you can earn them through. They can partner with several different fitness trackers.
So this
then you
reminds
can-
me of. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was done.
Oh, something similar. I don't remember exactly when this was, but maybe about I don't know, a month ago. There was some similar story where like there was a device that would verify that someone is doing exercise in front of it, like a machine, and it would give you like I think cell phone points or something, or cell phone minutes.
Yeah.
So if you do like squats, I guess 10 squats gets you like a minute on the phone.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing that article.
Yeah, but this would be pretty cool. Of course, so I guess it's kind of like the TARDIS. It just kind of appears.
Yeah,
Hopefully it has the same sound effect.
that'd be awesome.
By the way, there was a TARDIS at Comic-Con, now that I think about it. And literally, as we were eating lunch, it appeared like around the corner, like, I mean, kind of saw a little bit of construction going on. And by the time lunch was over, it was gone. So, true to form. All right.
You're not supposed to talk about the construction. It just appeared. We saw a couple of Doctor Who's at Comic-Con. That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next news story, this I think just came out today, was that there is a preview of Google Fit. So as I understand Google Fit, it's like a layer within Android that allows other smart devices to talk to it, to like your Fitbit or some other Wear device to accumulate all of your activity and make that data available to other apps and things on the phone. Do I have that right, Cecilia?
I honestly didn't get a lot into the details so far, so I think you're doing well.
Okay, that's what I remember from I/O. But apparently this is now a preview so that apps can sort of like practice tying into the information that's there. You have to have a Nexus 5 or 7 to activate it, and the REST APIs for Android Wear aren't included. So this is just about like the information gathering. But I guess I was calling that a little bit because you have a fitness-based app. Maybe you would have some insight.
Yeah, we are definitely looking into this, but we were signing NDAs and things, so I don't know where we're at, and I don't think we got to code anything. So it's all new for us.
Gotcha. Is this going to be in the Android L version, or is this
That's what it
working
seems
its way
like.
back into earlier versions too?
That's why, well, for now, that's why it works on the Nexus 5 or 7 is because you have to have the L.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
Gotcha. Cool. We're really churning through these things. All right, so the next
I know
is...
Jeff Bond was asking about if we really discussed this, so sorry, Jeff. We're not doing a lot of a discussion.
What was he asking?
He was asking about if we already talked about the fitness API.
Yeah, I think we might have mentioned it right around Google I/O. To be honest, I really like the idea. Right now, I wear a couple of fitness devices. I wear a Basis smartwatch, which gives me really great like heart rate monitoring information, sleep tracking, and things like that. But I also wear Fitbit, and I find that Fitbit is much more accurate for like step counting and just general activity levels. So right now, if I want that information, I have to go to each portal and get it independently. But theoretically, if both of these devices support Android Wear, I could have them loaded there and maybe use Strava or some other app that might have the interface that I like best, or LinksFit or something. Who knows? And have that sort of keep track of what I'm doing and give me the insights that I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's still going to be a little siloed. You're going to have the whole iOS health thing, iHealth, and then you're going to have the Google Fit, but at least it's not a lot of tiny silos. It's two big ones.
True. So moving on to Lenovo has sort of given a quick preview of a heads-up display that looks a little bit similar. Looks similar to Google Glass. If I can get the picture up real quick. Cool. So this is the only image that I could find online regarding this, and there's not a whole lot of information as far as specs, but it's definitely got the the one-sided electronics on what appear to be regular glasses frames. But what makes this one a little bit different is the battery pack, which you can see it kind of extends down to like this neck section.
Looks horrible.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. But but supposedly that battery could last a good long time, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, long battery's good.
Yes.
It's good to see the clones coming. We're going to see a Samsung one probably. They announced maybe, I don't remember, was it September, October they announced it, and so maybe still coming out these, and we have the View 6, and I mean, it's a good thing for the ecosystem that there's others. This is a good thing. It's a good sign.
Now, from a design point of view, this one, it doesn't appear to do like the two-sided, so I don't expect it to be like augmented reality, like the View 6 or Epson or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Lenovo is a pretty well-established company, and they have some good designs. I'm not a big fan of the ThinkPad series, but the IdeaPads have been pretty good. So I'll give them some credit. Maybe this isn't the final product.
Right.
Okay.
In a way, it looks very glassy. This side, when it turns right here in this area, in the top right side, looks very similar to glass. I don't know.
I think they're going to have a lot of the same problems explorers have with the social challenges and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely took a lot of the glass design. Was there a price point listed? I don't think they had a price point on it.
There really weren't any specs, so no price, no.
But that's a good thing. It's going to be lower price probably, and the competition will trigger prices to go down,
Yes.
hopefully a little faster, and that's a great thing.
And and that's very important. Hopefully, it'll lower the price of glass from 1,500.
Yes.
Still got my fingers crossed on that, but I don't know. The longer it stays at 1,500, it seems like that's going to be the price. I don't know.
No, it can't be the
Oh no,
price.
no, they did say that they at least dropped it to 1,200 for industry or something, right?
Yeah, and it makes it inviable. Like I had a conversation today, and these people are like, "Oh, I would love to build a program, but who's going to use it? Who has glass?" I'm like, "No, it's too expensive. You can." That's a problem. It cuts off the whole chain, like for developers, for
Right.
everybody in the whole market, people doing content, anybody in the market for glass, it's completely stopped because of the price and the distribution, really.
Yeah, you're right. I think for consumers, that price is never going to be acceptable. Maybe for industry, like the medical stuff that they talk about, but I don't know. Maybe in that case, this extra battery would be helpful. If you're doing surgery, you don't want to have to like swap out your glass because the battery died.
No.
All right.
Yeah, and it's so is it kind of like a glass's frame? It kind of you can't really see the other side. So I'm kind of assuming it's just one. It's just one side, and do you balance it?
To me, it looks like there's some frames similar, like the glass, like
The glass
prescription
band.
frames. But I can't tell what the display is like, if it's the prism, if there's a camera. I'm assuming those things are probably similar, but it's a little too hard to tell. Okay. So I see a news story here, Sprouting Baby Sleep Tracker. Anybody want to grab this one?
So it looks like you attach this little thingy to the feet of the baby. Can you show it, Kit?
Oh, sure.
Or I can show it otherwise. So you attach this little device, and when the baby goes to sleep, they basically you can track their movement. Their sleep is the main thing you track, really, but it will track also the temperature, the humidity, the light in the room, and you will know when the baby is waking up, and you will know how much he slept or her. It seems like the first tracker for babies that is pretty complete and interesting. I know Nobel probably would like to try this on Sparrow.
I was going to say that maybe it was a little silly, but now that you mention it, yeah, for getting sort of a cue that the baby is maybe waking up. Like I know my with the data from my Basis watch, I could tell like not only when I wake up, but kind of the process started to wake up.
Yes.
If you could maybe have a 10-minute head start that, hey, the baby's going to be up in a few minutes.
You are totally right. Exactly. It will know a little before when starting to move a little bit, and then eventually like, okay, full blown, wake up.
That's cool. So what was the other? You said there was more. There was temperature,
humidity, temperature, heart rate. So what it seems like it's that this is the market that spends most money. Like parents of young babies, they spend all the money in whatever people sell them because it's just your new baby and you want to give them all the best, and it's the best market. And I am not surprised that Wearable is going there with a 250 kind of device. Price point, and they could do well. Who knows?
Yeah, I think the market's definitely there. I mean, it's not the first baby wearable I've seen. I mean, Keith and I were kind of talking about this before the show, and there are a lot of practical uses. I mean, I think SIDS is definitely sudden infant death syndrome is something that's obviously a concern, and I think this is something that will help alleviate some of the concerns parents would have about SIDS as well.
If even will tell you if they are sleeping back or or
on the stomach or the back, right?
And that's one of the things people worry about. So it has a few. I imagine quantified selfers warning their babies too, from being born to being tracked.
Start them early.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of good use cases, although it's kind of big. Again, I've seen other devices that you can kind of just pin on clothing that, I mean, it's not going to obviously track heart rate, but it will track temperature. It's not going to track perspiration, but it will also track movement. So I guess it kind of just depends on how much information you want on your infant.
Yeah.
This reminds me a little bit of, you mentioned there was other baby devices. Around CES time, I think Intel had like a onesie with something like this built in.
Oh, that's true.
So, it's a good market. Like you said, people are not afraid to spend on them.
How long does it last? Like, is it good for until they're like 2 or 3?
Yeah, I wondered about that too. Didn't say anything about that because if they grow fast. So
Yeah.
I'm with you there. Yeah.
Like if you toss in the washing machine, that's kind of surprising.
Probably last long enough for them to get the hand coordination and figure out how to take it off.
Yeah, exactly.
It won't get past 18 months, probably.
Although, I mean,
With today's kids.
it seems like the sensor, as long as you remove the sensor, I guess the band is interchangeable. So if your baby starts growing, which all babies do, you can change out the band but still keep the sensor.
That makes sense. It doesn't look uncomfortable at all, to me at least.
And price point, I don't know if we mentioned
Different
it is.
sizes of the band, so it says that grows with your baby. Huh.
Interesting. Looks like about $250, which is definitely not too bad. That's,
It's not cheap. It's not too bad.
I mean, $200 is what the basis watch costs, and this is basically the baby's version of that.
Oh, for a new parent, I think $250, $300 is definitely. I think a lot of people would fork it over. That's essentially.
That's the price point where you can still probably talk the grandparents into it.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be great if we had?
Yeah,
Put it on the
good
register
thinking. Good thinking.
Cool. All right, and let's see. There was one story that I put on here that came from the community. Now, I saw this posted by Noble and I hope I pronounced this right, Abhinav Singh. This was an HP Android-based smartwatch. Did you guys see this?
Yes.
Let's see.
It looks a lot like the Motorola that's
It is
coming
round.
out.
Where's the link?
All right. So,
But it's running its own It's not Wear, like it doesn't support Wear.
right. It sounds like this is going to be Android-based, but yeah, separate from the Wear platform. So, yeah, I guess for good and for bad, it's probably will be very well integrated with the apps that come with it, but I wouldn't expect a lot of like third-party
Yeah, we've seen
functionality.
Sony and Samsung try this already.
Yeah.
Poor HP, they're like always late to the game.
You know, it's interesting. So the story definitely gave it the impression that this is all about designer focus, like, what is it, function follows form in this case. But I'm not sure
I'm not
I
buying
think
it.
the design that much. It's still kind of bulky.
Looks like a sports watch to me.
Yeah, it's got big buttons. I'm not so sure I dig the design on this one, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think the Verge needs to learn how to recognize when somebody's not on the mobile webpage or no mobile browser, so it presents you the full webpage rather than a mobile site. But whatever.
Gotcha.
That's not your fault. That's the Verge's site.
I didn't even pick up on that. I thought they were doing some weird thing. But
Yeah.
you're right.
It's mobile link. Stupid web developers.
Meh.
All right, so we've got a couple quick lightning round topics, so anybody feel free to jump in if you have any thoughts, but otherwise we can
Just
just...
lightning noise.
Yeah, we need a little sound effects board.
I want it.
All right, that's your homework, Aaron. You got to find some, some...
He already has the
record
perfect
yourself.
sound.
I got it. I got the
He
mouth.
has it. Yeah, he already happy with the sound.
Yeah.
All right, so Google has opened up their Basecamp for, I guess, general people to make appointments. So if you want to come in and try on glass, you haven't tried it before, you want to see if it fits or how it looks, you can...
Topic.
Okay, New York, LA, and San Fran. Okay, next topic.
I'll say something. There's this guy in UK that tried it, and he writes a full article of how there was no pressure to buy, and he was so disappointed that there was no pressure to buy. And I'm like, you're never happy, man, because it's like,
Seriously.
this is a perfect thing. You have no pressure to buy. You can go try something, and you go and complain about it. I'm like, okay, you can't make everybody happy. That's it.
Seriously.
It's like, and they tried to make me drink bottled water or whatever. They
Exactly.
They offer free alcohol and food and They didn't try and force me to buy it. It was
They're
really
so mean. They
frustrating.
didn't force me to buy it, and now I didn't buy it. I had the money. I was ready to buy, and I didn't buy it.
Well, this guy should definitely go visit a car dealership and see if he enjoys that stuff. Cool. Okay, next topic. So Samsung filed a trademark for the Gear S, which...
This is a stupid topic.
Okay.
Sorry.
We can skip the next one too.
Gear S. Okay, let's
And the next
possibly
one. Okay,
what that could possibly mean.
Apple apparently patented the iPhone.
Sorry, I want to say something. The S is it's already their Health S application, so this is their line of fitness, definitely. That's what I see. I like Samsung. I will say
it's a head-mounted display.
You can all hate me. I like
Your
Samsung.
sight, the S stands for sight, and it's like a monocle. You wear it over one eye.
Samsung has very shiny screens, and I like them, and it feels good.
They do make pretty hardware.
And everybody can hate me for saying that out loud.
With the sound of lightning.
Well, it's okay. We can all agree that we hate this next one. So no, just kidding. But the Apple iTime. Wait, guys, what happened to air and mute? Okay, now.
I'm done.
So yeah, this one I don't know what you can read into this. Filed in 2011. That's a long time ago. So, and
That looks terrible. I hope that's what they come out with.
It looks a lot like someone else said this, but yeah, it looks a lot like the old iPod Nano on the watch band.
Very un-Apple-y. Very
All right, this is terrible.
not elegant.
All right. Let's see.
Next.
Samsung patents around smartwatch design.
Oh.
Because I guess they can patent the circle. I don't know.
We invented the circle.
Wow.
So I guess Motorola better watch out. Here, I'm going to show this. Actually, there was one or two things that were kind of interesting on this. So I guess they got a camera, which you can't see from that picture, and also the charging pins are on this band. So I guess they're not doing the wireless charging. Too bad. But that's not a bad place to put it, considering the current place on that the Android Wear watch is terrible.
I mean, so this has been bothering me. This whole argument of this is wireless charging, that's wireless charging. I'm just gonna say that all wireless charging is just a big crock of crap right now, because no matter what, you still have a wire connected to the pad, to the little thing. The LG one is not wireless. It just is magnetic and clamps and connects easily, but it's still charging through a direct connection. Okay. There's no direct connection. It's but the fact that it has to be that close together. No, until I can just set my device down or not even take it off and it just magically charges when I enter my house, all wireless charging is crap. I'm calling it.
I'll take on this one. So I agree that the LG is not wireless charging. It does have this pogo pin thing, which is it's actually pretty good because it centers itself pretty.
It's better. I'm not saying it's
no,
not.
No, I agree, but I wouldn't say this is wireless. But there are a lot of these weird ones. I'm going to pull out my bases one. As much as I love my bases.
I had my Nexus 5 and used wireless charging. I'm just saying. I still had to set it exactly on that pad, perfectly on the right spot, or it wouldn't charge.
Right. But taking something like this and having force your watch into it. The other problem is I only have one of these, and if I want to charge it up at the office, guess what? It's $30 for another one.
It sucks.
Yeah, and
it sucks.
that's
I'm not saying it's not bad.
It's completely superior to what Samsung Gear does.
But let's not call it wireless charging.
No,
let's just call it inductive charging.
It's wannabe wireless charging.
Yes, we'll call it inductive charging. So it's the first step to wireless charging, but let's just stop calling things wireless charging.
You don't think Qi would be wireless charging?
No, it's inductive.
But it's also wireless.
Oh, talking about that, and you didn't mention.
There's still a wire running to that pad.
They showed the Moto 360 and how it's going to be charging, and that's really nice. It looks really nice. I'm not a big fan, but I'm going to admit it has a super nice charger where the phone is facing you in a nice way.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I totally missed that.
I want wireless charging where I walk in, my watch, I'm in my house right now, would be charging.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my house.
That's
and I don't have any wires.
Well, that would be great. But I don't know. Even if it's technically possible at some point in the future, it's going to be
this is the first time the Moto 360 looks really awesome now.
Oh man, that looks so good. That looks so good. But still, not wireless charging. It has to sit in a cradle. And a cradle is connected to power through what? A wire.
The cradle looks
No,
nice though.
But it does look really good. It does look really good,
But it's
and
like-
that is
but-
the
but if
best
you can-
charging mechanism I've seen for any of the watches so far. I'm still not. It's inductive charging.
Okay.
I like
We'll
how
agree to
it's
disagree.
like-
My
We're talking
issue-
about semantics. I understand that,
Yeah.
but
My concern isn't that a wire exists, because there's wires in the walls too. But if I don't have to mess with it every time I plug my device in, that's close to wireless for me.
you still do. You have to put your device, make sure it sits in the cradle, and then we'll charge. If you could, that it would just be better if you didn't have to deal with any of that. Then it would be real wireless charging. Otherwise, it's just inductive charging. It's just you have to still have that contact or that range. I mean, until the range is like feet, it's not wireless.
Okay. Well,
By
I
my
guess that's the end of this week in semantics. But
I'm going to save Keith in a tangent. Can you guys see the screen, the new orbital wear face watch that we built at 33 Labs? Mauro actually did the whole thing, and what do you think of this kind of, it's going to look awesome on the 360, I believe. Can you
I
see
would
it?
not use it.
No?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I mean,
It's
if I
a
can't
taste.
look and
It's a matter of taste.
instantly know what time it is, it has no value.
I'm the same. I
mean,
use
it's
it because it's fashionable, but yeah.
I don't want to gimmick you like, oh, look, you can't read my watch. That makes me cooler than you.
I
Whatever.
think it looks really good. I personally hate anything that is circular in a way and makes it complicated. I want to see the seconds, everything exactly like it is. But I really like this one.
Yeah.
it's
cool.
cute. I think
I would have no idea what time it was right now. I guess
It's
that
an
would be.
interesting design. It's very minimalistic.
It's very
Only-
minimalistic.
Only problem being that second hand is going to be really, if you have OCD, it's going to kill you because
So it's the small dot, the minute hand.
yeah, it's
the
going to be
big dots,
disappearing from like 25 to 35
hours.
seconds.
True. Anyways, you can keep going with your round.
It's okay. Cool. And yeah, so
Man,
yeah, thanks for bringing up this one. I do like that, and yeah,
so good.
I guess the OCD people would also hate here on the left-hand side. Like, it looks really pretty on that cradle, except the part that's not a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
I just
pretty
want
much.
my invite for my O. Man, I can't wait.
Cool. All right. Back to me.
You're all thinking the same thing.
And
Next topic.
let's see.
Oh
What's
yes,
next?
from our watcher menu, Jeff has requested more sound effects from you, Aaron.
Gotcha. I'm on it.
Cool.
Now,
Go
we're
ahead.
almost there. We'll get there in a minute.
Yep. Okay, cool. So there was an interesting little discovery regarding Oculus Rift, which apparently, doesn't just use like a Samsung display. It actually uses a
Oh, they
Samsung
totally
Note 3
cheated.
display. Which, honestly, the thing I get from the story is that suddenly the Google Cardboard is a lot more legit.
Right. I was one of the people arguing, no, because you can't evolve the screen fast enough, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, ooh, touche.
Well, that was the thing. Like, people were doing these early reviews, and it was like, oh, look, the latency is so low and all these things. And I figured it had to be something special. They did something just for, like, this
They
device.
do
No,
use
it
a
was-
different frequency. They do use a much higher frequency on the same screen. It's just physically they're using that screen.
Gotcha. Okay, someone did a review of the LG heart rate monitor earphones, which apparently is their real name, and their review basically boiled down to it's got an accurate heart rate, but it sounds like crap, so I guess.
And also, it doesn't go with the standard plug. That's like a total no-no then. It's like...
Oh, I missed that. What was the plug?
Yeah, a little below it says pros and cons, and that's where it says that it's incompatible with normal headphone sockets. Like, really?
Okay.
Missed
Sounds
that
like a
one?
deal
Do this.
You missed that one? Seriously?
So
Let me see. I want to look again now.
Everybody's using. I know, guys. Let's not use it. Let's do our own.
Yeah. They probably couldn't somehow. It reminded me of, I met these young guys yesterday on San Diego area, and they're doing like these earplugs, and the earplugs have inside like a speaker. So they're like specifically designed to block the noise at night, but to let something through, like your alarm watch, or to wake you up, in a soft, nice way, or different things like. I thought it was really interesting. So
Gotcha.
we'll see more. We'll see
Oh,
more.
see, regarding the plug, I see what you're saying. I must have skipped over it because I recognize it as a Bluetooth headphones, which is what I typically use. But that is bulky for a Bluetooth headset because you got like this little box and wires connected to a box. Yeah.
It's just so they can charge you $30 for the charger. That's it.
Okay, and I'll skip the next one.
Oh, come on, just another smart tracker. Come on, let's do it. Just another
okay, so the smart tracker, but apparently it's very expensive at $30, considering that the other one's $13.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
What's
that one was lame.
So
I don't know what makes this one special. Maybe it just works with anything. No, doubtful.
Okay, so there's a story here from Tejas, which I'm assuming is our friend Tejas here in the Bay Area.
Yes,
Tejas Lavankar, he's asking right there in the questions and answers if we're going to mention the NAVD.
Yes. I didn't. I kind of missed this story. Does someone else want to take one?
It's like you're in your car and you have this little device that goes on the front and I don't know what you call it, and it's projecting on your like windshield, and the idea is cool. It looks great. I don't think it's totally legal, at least in California, for what I understand of the law. But it's also a little distracting because it's in the middle, like right there in front. We can put the. Let me share the.
It seems like there could have been a more clever way of doing this with almost like the cardboard method of you set your phone in something and it's a place you can set your phone. It automatically puts your phone into voice only mode and then it projects what's up in like a head. It seems like that would have been a more clever way of doing this and maybe a safer way of doing it that wouldn't have turned around and cost $300. I think it's great that they're trying to make driving safer. I don't think this is going to sell very well.
I don't know if this will really make it safer because honestly, it's a message right there in your when you look at glass, for instance, it's at the level of your rear mirror and it's perfect because that really doesn't. You're not used to looking at there for traffic, but this is right in the middle, and depending on the design of what you're seeing, it could really...
I don't think it's going to make it... I think it would have a safer impact, just because you don't have to take your eyes off the road to look at things. But
yeah, but if it blocks... I'm worried that it obstructs.
I think at $300, it's not going to make somebody turn away from their cell phone. If they're used to using their cell phone for navigation, they have a holder. I don't see somebody forking over $300 to buy it. But that being said, I think it's very comfortable to read. That's what I would think it has going for it.
I think it's comfortable to read the demo. I think it's going to be really hard to actually read it in real life because it's
really bright.
Imagine real applications where you have no control of that interface. Someone is going to completely obstruct that site.
What this actually reminds me of a little bit, and Libby, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a friend of ours back in college that had, I think it was a Nissan Acura or Altima.
Oh yeah, and it kind of projected.
Then it would project the speed up on the dash, but it wasn't in the center, it wasn't blocking anything, and it was in big letters or numbers.
Yeah, and that was actually fairly comfortable to read. It was right in front. It was right in front of the driver.
But it was also bright red, and I think that helped to see it. The text on this, at least in the demo, was white and pretty. I think that would be hard to pull off. If you just put simple text,
I feel like on a bright day, it might be difficult to read.
There's a couple of Android apps that allow you to just set your phone up on the dash, and at night it will reflect your phone screen off your dash, and it inverts it so that it basically creates a little heads-up display. And they're pretty cool, but they only work at night, and you really would need something to kind of hold your phone in one spot if you're going to do it. If you're going to do it for any kind of real period of time. I tried it once and was like, oh, that's clever. And
I feel like the box is kind of big on this guy too.
Yeah.
It looks big. I don't know. I don't know anybody that would buy it, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a good concept, but yeah.
It's sort of what we were talking about, although it's a little different. But this is, I guess, from a real car that has this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe that's a phone, because those are phone buttons over there.
Maybe.
Not sure.
They have apps that do that, though. And like I'm saying, I think that is probably a better way to achieve this same goal and actually sell them would be create an accessory for your phone that, like a phone mount.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of universal phone mount that then projects like that. It seems like that would be a much safer, or maybe not safer, but a much better way to do that.
Were there phones that had projectors built in a couple of years back? I seem to remember.
Samsung played around with it. I don't know if the Samsung Beam. I don't think it ever came out. Now there's a battery backup, that is projector battery backup, and all sorts of cool things.
And there was this helmet, the helmet that I think it's called a Skull or something like that. I can remember, and it projects, and that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
For a motorcycle.
So I don't know. NAVD, clever concept. Nothing really new though. I mean, like you said, you knew somebody who had one. There's been apps for years that did the heads-up display. So
the car industry itself has been looking into that deeply. Yeah.
I want to say there's a couple of cars that come from the factory that have little speedometer projectors that do that. So I mean, yeah, this is maybe a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
So that's thanks for doing that. Like the Blocks guys, they started that conversation.
Yeah. I agree. I think maybe the next few generations it'll be more something along the line of something I would purchase for myself. Actually, I mean, this might not even be a bad. Like, I would consider buying this for my mom.
Yeah, for like $60.
Yeah, $300 is a little steep.
Never, not even consider it.
Hey guys, off topic, but remember that vase that tracks your drinking that we were laughing at? It made it to the Colbert report. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, I saw it on that.
That was amazing. He was laughing so hard.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Nice.
I bought a vessel.
You did? And you were trying to get other people to buy one, yeah.
No, I was just sharing it with other people, so I got a free color upgrade.
Exactly, yeah.
I was like, hey, what do you guys think about it?
That's what I said.
All I had to do was get somebody to click it, and I got a free. I had to get people to click the link, and I got a free color upgrade. So I was like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Is this thing stupid? Tell me how dumb this is. I know it's dumb. I'm getting it anyways.
Cool. So I guess on to upcoming events. So a couple weeks ago, the Glass team shared that they are going to be having these, they're calling them Glass classes at the LA, San Francisco, and New York offices, which I guess are like the first Saturday of every month. You can go in, learn some stuff about Glass if you haven't tried it on before, or if you need to, like, I'm not sure how technical they're being, if this is just like a user case learning or if it's actually for developers.
I think it's the guides. I think it's the Glass guides for what I saw in some pictures in LA.
I think they just don't know what to do with themselves anymore.
They got these beautiful facilities, might as well use them for something. Yeah. But also
UK seems like the one place that would need the most with new explorers.
True. I don't think this has UK in there, but yeah, it's a good feedback. Maybe we should let someone know. Cool. But yeah, first Saturday of every month.
They should do a place here where people don't hate technology.
Next, let's see. Actually, we need to look more into this, but there's going to be a Glass scavenger hunt. Sounds like a really neat idea in downtown San Francisco, August 23rd. Yeah, let's say details are forthcoming on that one. Oh, and Big Ender Barbecue is right around the corner, so Aaron, I'll give that one to you.
Make sure to get your
October 16th through the 18th, Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's like a ton of discount codes floating around. If you haven't registered or if you're interested in speaking, please submit a session. We got lots of speaking sessions. Well, we don't have that many left, but we still have some. I think we've sold out all of our Kit Kat tickets. There might be one left. There was one left yesterday. So if you want to rub elbows with the sponsors and stuff at a private party, you got to get that Kit Kat ticket.
And tell us, do you actually get a Kit Kat for this?
Last year, everybody got Kit Kats.
Right.
But we don't know what the new ones. We could have called it L, I guess. L preview ticket.
Well, yeah, what do you guys can do for your pin? I remember last year was awesome. You had all these like little pins for like Jelly Bean, Kit Kat, stuff like that.
I can't tell you.
Surprise!
I guess unless they tell us what L is, you're gonna have
we're
to.
definitely
Make,
doing pins again, though.
you're gonna have to make a decision for them.
I hope you're doing pins again this year.
They'll be. We're doing pins, but they'll be different. We're doing a lot of. It's gonna be fun.
I gotta say, as far as conferences go, there was a big deal made out of like Glass or not Glass, Google I/O, the app being made with Material, and they open sourced it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta say, by far the best app I've ever seen for like a conference was Big Ender Barbecue app last year. Like it is,
and it's being completely rebuilt from the ground up this year, which kind of makes me sad because it was really awesome. But it's still designed by the same.
Okay, well keep these things. One was the awesome feature that if you scan someone's badge, or
Uh-huh.
whatever, like it got saved into both of yours, so you don't have to do the thing where, okay, I scan your badge and then wait around and you scan my badge and all that stuff. It was really quick
I
and easy
need to make sure that we remember to do that. So all the features that were there last year should be returning. We're just
including a zombie
rebuilding it
game.
with more stable, including the zombie game and then some. We're enhancing the achievements this year. We're actually calling them achievements, and so you'll win achievements for all sorts of different things, and there'll even be a game within the achievements game. So yeah, we're gonna have all sorts of fun.
Awesome.
All sorts of stuff. Hopefully we'll get it out sooner rather than later so we can start. But, that stuff takes time. I just got to see a preview of the work last night. So, and it's like framework. That's all we're at right now is framework. So.
Gotcha.
We're
And you can
working.
get those tickets at bigandroidbbq.com.
Yes, bigandroidbbq.com.
And so another conference coming up is the Oculus Connect conference, which is in the LA area, September 19th and 20th. I'd love to attend, but I haven't looked into how to get tickets for this yet. I think they wanted you to give an explanation, and they pick people for this conference. So.
And you have to pay $300.
Oh, and you still pay.
And you still have to pay $300.
Wait, 300 or 1,300?
300.
300. Okay. Maybe they give you a free Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be interesting.
Wouldn't count on
Google already gave us free Oculus.
That's
I
true.
will-
Oh, now I want to go even more, because I'll totally bring my IO cardboard down there.
I mean, now that we know it's pretty much exactly the same thing.
And
I think it's special.
I'm sorry, I didn't look into this one again, Cecilia. This MoDev, do you know about this one?
No, I think we already announced it a couple of times. It's I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so
Oh, and we are scheduling another baseball game, probably in September. I have to look at dates. In the
will this
San
be
Francisco
Giants
Bay
or
Area.
A's?
What's that?
Giants or A's?
I'm kind of leaning toward the A's. I'll be honest. I feel like it's gonna be it's more accessible. But I know there's a lot of Giants fans in this area too, so we'll have
Giants
to
are pretty
see.
popular, but yeah, I think we can
It
give
is
A's
a-
a try.
Yeah, the Giants have a really nice stadium here. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Oh, one last thing before we close up the show. I just want to show off my very awesome new band here. So I got one of those black metal Amazon type bands for the LG watch. Looks pretty good on it.
Oh, and a nice
And it
little
matches
G-pop.
it matches the G-pop from. Oh, it's not focusing. Oh. Well, trust me, it looks awesome. It's got a carbon fiber strip.
Trust me, it looks awesome.
Cool. Anything else, guys? Any big plans this week?
I got nothing.
No.
No. Okay. Well, I guess we'll look forward to seeing you guys again next week.
Oh, I guess Google Play Music instituted a 4-device minimum or 4-device maximum per year now or something. That's kind of sucky.
Really? Oh, wow.
Now, does Glass count as one of those devices?
I'm sure it
It
does.
probably does, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
4 devices? That's ridiculous.
Well,
Anyways.
it's 4 devices. It's not a family plan
if
for
it doesn't-
devices. It's a personal fee.
As long as it doesn't, you don't have to
Yeah, but I
register
have 2
one of your
tablets.
computers.
I have my house tablet that I run music for my whole house, which is on my refrigerator. I have my phone. I have Glass. And then I have my Nexus 7 as well. That's 4 right there. You can only I think it said you can only disable 4 devices per year total. So if I replace any of those devices more than once,
No, it should be 4 at a time,
4
You
total
know.
at a time. But I'm pretty
Sure,
sure they made it where you
that
can only
sucks.
get 4 device removals per year. Let me find the exact article.
Oh, that would
That does
totally
seem a little-
suck.
little
No, that
limiting
would
then.
totally suck.
Oh, well, we can talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, signing off. See you guys next week.
All right. See ya.
Bye.